Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a review of Grandma and Grandpa Turn Young Again. Now, I want to point this out here because here's the thing. Last week, we had an episode that I never expected to even talk about. I didn't think to do a review on this show, but I got to after the first episode. Last week was the first episode, and I fell in love with it because, first of all, for a rom-com like this, and for grandparents to be the main character, finally got some recognition. Every rom-com we always see adult rom-coms, we always see college rom-coms, high school rom-coms most of the time, middle school rom-coms, but there is never a time where, I don't know, I could be wrong, that we have grandparents as main characters of a rom-com. We don't really see that type. This is the kind of show. And what's interesting about this show is they take a whole new line of grandparents to a whole nother level. They decide to change the dynamic structure of they're a couple already. But what happens when they turn young? And then everybody, including their families, including everybody in town, surprised to see them. And it's one of those the fountain of youth. You get I get it. The evolution is very strict on us from young to this. I get that. But this is another opportunity for them to do whatever they want as a young couple. They could do things that they never, they haven't done in a long time, if you know what I mean. And there's some activities they should have done a long time ago. But now they're young, they can do whatever they want. But, and the first episode did show us, it has some comedy humor, especially the grandma and grandpa type. And they still doing activities that still senior people do. But they still doing it. That's the thing. So this week's episode was so funny. You got to get dedicated to the grandma. The grandma is badass. I like her. She did what she did. So without further ado, let's get right to the episode 2 of Grandma and Grandpa Turn Young Again. Because this episode was funny, but damn, it had emotions in this one. Okay. Grandma and Grandpa, okay. Let me just cut this. How you kick off an opening with these two young guys saying, oh, screw this farm. I don't want to be a farmer. There's no attractiveness. I'd rather go to Tokyo because Tokyo is the bright lights. It's the town. I mean, it's the place that you could do whatever you want. It's kind of like the Manhattan. It's like the New York. It's like the Manhattan area. Like the big bright lights of Tokyo. You know what I mean? It's like that. But when they saw Grandma, when they saw her, it was like jaw dropped. It's like they never seen a gorgeous woman before. They never saw a gorgeous woman before. And then they see the grandpa, all shiny, muscular, driving a car, and in that moment, they're like, you know what? Fuck Tokyo, I'm gonna become a farmer. You see, this is what I like about Grandma and Grandpa. They literally could change the dynamic structure of these young kids saying, you know what? I'd rather not do this. I'm just gonna stay here in the area where I grew up in and become a farmer. And they did it. Now, I didn't really sugarcoat the opening, but I kind of watched the opening twice. It is so wholesome. I loved it. It's chibi and they do activity. It's so wholesome to see this. It's so freaking wholesome. I love it. I effing love it. And then they showed a new character in this. I think it was her grandma's second. The family. It's not the thing about the show. It's not family drama. It's not like family dramas in this one. It's just other families surprised with this one, but the whole family structures, it's so many families here, like the second son, the second oldest son, the second oldest daughter, this daughter, the son. It's so confusing. It took me some time. It's gonna take me a while, guys, to even get this. But again, you got this girl who ran away from his father. That was grandma's second eldest son, and that's her granddaughter. So you get what I'm saying. Again, the family structure thing is out of proportion. I just can't get it. But my point is, this was funny to watch, seeing how but she ran away, nothing to do. I mean, because of so much stress with her father, saying she was become a a doctor, study medicine. She don't want to be her father's shoes. Those one of those. It's one of those typical like I don't want to follow my parents' shoes. I want to do this. I want to do that. It's that structure that. But the grandma done pretty much. Personality same. She still does it. And let's not. And then you got the phone scammer. Yo, let me tell you this. The phone scammer, she has done it. She is. I'm not saying better than Tsunade, but damn, she actually killed it. I mean, she literally answered the phone, and you get the phone scam. You know how those phone scammers like, "Hi, it's me. I'm from this and that." They try to rob you of your information and then use your. It's like those things. So she had it. She is freaking good. The phone scammer scene was brilliant. It was funny. She actually pressed the record button, got the information down. Where does he live? And and they caught him. And then the news lady that caught him. This grandma is something else. Oh my God. I think that is the best thing about it. Now, what I do like about the second episode is that this show it's going to be jumping back and forth. And I think throughout the episodes, it is going to jump back and forth. When they were old, when they were young back in the days, like when they had the black hair, And the thing I'm not mad about this is that why they keep calling themselves grandma and grandpa? Why they keep doing that? I mean, no offense. I mean, yeah, they're a couple, but can you say something like darling, honey, but not like grandma, grandpa? I mean, yeah, they're still the grandparents. But outside they're young, but can they just say honey or something like that? That's the only little problem I have. I mean, but again, now, you talk about, now this show was funny, I get that. But it has so many effing emotions. It makes you want to cry. 2 parts. There were 2 moments that makes me want to cry. The first part was, her son, who's a doctor, they went to see her son, who's a doctor, and he was surprised to see how young they are. So he checked them like a regular doctor would do. And then we got a flashback of her mom had cancer, and sad as it was, you see how it drove him to become a doctor, because he had that moment, that's the kind of touchy moment. There was a moment where, as a kid, he's like, use a stethoscope on the mom. He's like, "Oh, I will beat this cure. It's right here. I will beat it. I know how to," It was so freaking sad to see that structure. It was so sad. I mean, happy and sad at the same time, like an oxymoron. Like, you see how very proud of the mom / grandma to see his son become a doctor, and the fact that as a kid wanted to stop the cancer was in her body. It was so freaking awesome. It was so wholesome. You could cry off of that. You felt that. You gotta felt that, And he's crying of happiness that she's alive and well, young, and all that. It's that. That is sad. Another sad thing was the tree that grandma and grandpa was setting up, fixing the tree, because they are really supportive of their apple trees. And they were fixing this one tree that gave them the golden apple, that one tree. And because of that, they it broke, but it spoke to them. It's kind of like, this is why I had to wear a one-piece shirt and the flag here. It's kind of like the Going Merry. I remember this because it's one of the One Piece moments of all time. It's one of the One Piece moments. Yeah, I get it with the old Egghead Island and all that stuff, but you gotta admit, the Going Merry funeral is one of the top 10 moments, if not the saddest moments of all and in One Piece history. Because you gotta think about the Going Merry. Now, if you guys watch One Piece, please, you guys felt that. You felt that sadness when the Going Merry was saying farewell. It's been the ventures, not her words, but my words. But you get the idea of the Going Merry's funeral. It's words, it's last words. And with the tree, it's like that. The tree was breaking down and thank you and all that stuff. And it kind of gave them the blessings, give them the golden apple or whatnot. But that's what that was. But Overall, though, this episode was very funny. It was very emotional, and the best episode was the grandma phone scammer scene. That was epic. I mean, legit, that was funny as it is. You guys gotta watch that scene. It was funny. But watching these two episodes, I understand they're gonna do bits by bits by bits. It's not gonna be a whole episode. It's gonna be like every episode's gonna have its, I'll say roughly about 7 minutes of skit with grandma and grandpa, especially them trying to hold hands. Damn grandpa leaning on the wall, leaning on the door in front of grandma. I mean, like, damn. I felt that they're gonna have some spiciness going on there. They're gonna have that experience thing, and I really hope they're gonna do that even more. And then, as nice as it was getting her a white dress and whatnot, it's again, these episodes tells you about they could live their young life. They could do whatever they want. Even though they still got the oldness in them, they could still do the youngness. And I'm looking forward to see more of these. Now, I understand it's not like a manga, but it's like a four-comer comedy thing. I see why, but I look forward to it. But again, this is gonna be jumping back and forth in terms of grandma and grandpa episodes. And not only that, again, this MVP was the grandma, and I think next week we're gonna show more of the grandpa. So we're gonna see somewhat of grandpa's backstories and all that. So I look forward to that. But again, overall though, this episode was funny and very emotional at the same time. Very wholesome to watch, guys. And I feel like this show is gonna be underrated because it's not gonna be as hype as all the other shows that's coming. Like, you got Jobless Reincarnation. You got Kaiju number 8, which everybody's talking about it's going to be the best spring anime. And there's other shows coming out in May and so on. But again, if you guys will love rom-coms, and even though the show's underrated, please go watch the show. I ain't the only one who could be talking about this show. But I look forward for next week's episode of Grandma and Grandpa Turn Young Again. I can't wait for next week's episode of it, and I'll show you will.